Hello everybody, I'm Adam the Server. This is the first episode of what's going to be a legendary YouTube channel. So, the show's called Adam the Server vs. All Chefs. My objective is to show you how everybody can make a great meal with super easy steps. So, Adam the Server vs. All Chefs, server techniques, something easy, crushing all chefs' ideas. All right, here we go. Today we're gonna make pork tenderloin medallions with oven roasted vegetables and a super surprise dessert at the end, which is gonna be fantastic and you don't wanna miss it. So, what we've done so far, over here, we've already chopped up our vegetables. So we've got mushrooms, carrots, broccoli. So we cut them all to the same size so that they cook evenly and they have the same amount of charredness throughout. And that is very important because we need to make sure that all the vegetables are cooked the same. What I've got left over here, just to show you how to do it, is a mushroom. This is a cremini mushroom. Creminis have a lot of flavor. The darker, the more flavor. If you have something like a button mushroom, they're white, they don't have a lot of flavor. So what I do is I pop the stem, and the reason why you want to remove the outside shell is because they are made in manure. Manure sounds okay when you break it down. This is an old Seinfeld joke. Ma, not a bad word. Newer, also a good word. Put them together, what do you have? Manure. Still, not great to have on your food. So I just take this and I do something simple. And I just peel back the layers and I take away all the newerness. So you do this and then it gives you a nice clean mushroom. If you leave a little bit, it's okay, no big deal. And then take that, throw that up, you don't want that, and then you just quarter that up like that, boom. Now, I've got some of this here. I just kind of took some of the vegetables I have in my fridge, and I want to make sure I utilize everything in nice roasted vegetables. So you take this, and one of the techniques is you just take your knife, and you just run it along the skin, or the inside of the red pepper, and that leaves you with all the bad stuff gone, all the good stuff left. You can shave off this. This white part is quite bitter, so you don't really want to eat that. A little bit's okay, a lot's not good. So you just take off the white stuff. There you go. And then we're just going to dice this up so it's the same size as the rest of our vegetables. Put it like this. Nice easy chopping. And all the equal size. And we're going to put it in the bowl. And then to finish off roasted vegetables, super easy. We're just going to take extra virgin olive oil, important to have in every single kitchen. And now we're going to salt and pepper. Heavy salt, because that's a lot of vegetables. I like coarse ground black pepper. Some people like to have their pepper grinder, so it makes it a nice fresh pepper. I enjoy that as well, but it's hard to keep that thing full all the time. Now we just toss it up. Look at all the colors. More colors, more health. Green, orange, nice purple potatoes and mushrooms. Now what I've done already is I've got my pan nice and hot in the oven. Oven preheated 400 degrees. Hear that sizzle? Hear that? See? It's already started the cooking process. Now with that nice hot sizzle comes texture, flavor, color. Look at that. Beautiful. Now we've got our pan heating up right here. It's getting nice and hot. We're going to now get our pork tenderloins. Look at the smoke coming off there because it's nice and heated. So we're going to get that ready to go. We're going to get our pork tenderloin on the cutting board. So what you want to always do is have your pork or your meat at room temperature so that it cooks nice and evenly. It's important, all meat, room temperature. Now, what I'm going to do, get my tenderloin up. Pork tenderloin is a great cut because it's super forgiving. It's very tender, easy to cook, and it's kind of hard to overcook. So what you want to do is cut all the silver skin off. That's never something you want. And we're going to make pork medallions, so we're going to get rid of some of this fat. And we're going to make a delicious pork. See that? This all comes off nice and easy. You pull up, push down on this pork. Look at that, comes up perfectly. You don't need to cut it all off. It doesn't have to be exactly precise. but get most of it off for sure. So you're just going to take a little more of this right here. Look at that. See how easy that comes off? Like that. That's good. That's good. We'll just take this one last piece off right here. We cut under. See how the knife does the work. And we'll do one more this way. Perfect. See that? We're not overthinking it. We're just cutting it. Nice and easy. I'm going to do one more right here. I'm going to cut off that end bit. And I'm going to cut off this bit right here. Now, the next step is very important. It's all about the seasoning. When you have a nice tenderloin like this, you want to cut up into medallions. See? Medallions. Just nice little round pieces like this. See? Nice medallion. See? This first medallion was given in the 1907 Olympics. This was the gold medal for the best pig connoisseur. Gold medal medallion. See? Just medallions. Nice and even slices. You want to make sure that they're all even so they cook evenly, like we talked about on everything else earlier in the show. Now along the way, you can do some trimming, some shaving. Perfect. And then, before we hit that pan, we're going to season these up. So, when you cook with pork, always wash your hands. Make sure that you get everything cleaned up. Make sure you're cooking clean. You don't want any of that going into the food or other things you touch. So you want to make sure you're always cleaning along the way. Now, this pan is really hot. I'm going to take it off there for just a moment. And now we're going to add our spices and seasoning. Simple. I'm going to do a nice simple seasoning. Salt, pepper, and one of my favorite things, Cajun spice. Adds smokiness and a little bit of heat, but mostly a lot of flavor. So we're just going to go heavy on this. I'll use this on everything. Love it. Nice generous amount of salt. Make sure that you season everything. Everything you cook, you always season. Again, of course, black pepper. Now, we're going to have that. Get this pan back on. We're going to put some oil in the pan. Get this pan nice and blazing. The objective is to make sure that you have a nice hot pan so you put a crust on the outside, and then we're going to put it in the oven to allow it to finish cooking with the roasted vegetables. Again, super easy. Everything's going to be done in the same oven. And adjust along the way. We're going to make sure we got this seasoned up properly. And we're serving it up right. See, we're not chefs here. We're just making a delicious dinner. It's all going to turn out wonderful. Now listen to the sound right here. You ready for it? That's your sound you want. Cast iron pans are the best. The closest thing to barbecue without having to turn on the barbecue in the winter. So much flavor. Cast iron pans. Remember, if you have a cast iron pan, never wash it with soap. Cast iron pans can't be washed with soap. They retain the flavor, so it has extra flavor every time you cook a dish. Now, make sure you wash your cutting board. Raw pork on there. There we go. That's all done. Now, we're going to just have to finish this off like this. We're going to get a super crust on the pork. And then we're going to sear each side nice and crispy. Then we're going to put it in the oven and we're going to let it cook with the vegetables. And then when that is done, look at that. Look at that sear. See that? That flavor city right there. So it happens really quick. Look at that. See, a little bit of that fat left on the pork isn't bad because it actually adds a little bit more flavor to the pan. See this? This is what we're talking about. Look at that. Oh, baby. There's two things I love. Food and sports. You can't have one without the other. You gotta have nice, delicious food while you watch a great game. Here we go. Cast iron's where it's at. Look at the flavor. Now, one of the tricks of cooking is the meat will let you know when it's done. If it doesn't release from the pan, that means that the meat isn't cooked enough to be flipped over. So allow the meat to tell you when it's time And then, see, that one wasn't ready to go. Now that one's ready to release from the pan. So it takes a moment and the meat to tell you what it wants to do. I mean, these are server-isms, not chef-isms. Again, I'm not trying to cook like a chef. I'm just trying to make good food. There we go. Now we got the sear we want. Things are looking delicious. Now we're gonna put this in the oven and let it finish with the roasted vegetables. We are back. Welcome to the future. I am future Adam. We are now in robot land. Okay, here we go. So, the vegetables are roasted. The pork tenderloin is cooked. We're gonna bring everything out here. Look at that. Ooh, baby. These are looking good. Now, the vegetables out of here. These are looking nice. Look at that. Look at the color, caramelization. Everything's looking nice on there. Now, the finishing touches. We got a saucepan. It's on medium heat. We're gonna have this with a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Garlic. So, this is serving it up, not chefing it up. A chef would cut up all of his garlic nicely minced. But guess what? For $4, we get a whole tube with about 60 heads of garlic in it. Much easier serving it up. So, we got boom, boom, boom. Nice. See that sizzle? That's what we want. Now, what we're doing, we're making the applesauce, which is a very classic combination with pork. So we're going to take a little bit of horseradish. Hear that? Beautiful. Now we're going to take this. See, what a chef would do, a chef would cut up his own apples and try to make some sort of fancy dish. But guess what we're doing? Applesauce, garlic, horseradish. Hear that? Beautiful. We're gonna mix that all together. We're gonna put a little bit of salt in there. We're gonna make this not sweet. We're gonna make this very, very tasty. See? Simple. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cook that down a little bit. So we've got horseradish. We've got garlic, salt, pepper, and unsweetened applesauce. Serve it up. Beautiful. So what we're doing is having a nice sweet element with the pork accompanied by the roasted vegetables. Now we're going to plate. So I'm going to turn all the heat off. Everything's done. Everything's turned off. We're going to make sure that's looking nice. There we go. Now, right before I plate, here comes my special dessert for you. Ready for this? This is wild. Microwavable container. Boom. So we're going to do an individual serving, but you can do this if you like for multiple people. So we're going to take 4 Oreo cookies. Boom. We're going to crush them up. So we're going to take a fork. My daughter taught me this recipe. She might have found it on the internet somewhere. So we're crushing these up. See this? This is called Flavor Town. See, a chef would never make this. You know why? Because they gotta make everything from scratch. But guess what? We're not about that. We're about going to Flavor Town, Guy Fieri, with a wonderful combination of what everyone knows as cookies and milk. So now we're gonna put a dash in. So you want about half, about a third full of milk. Perfect. A little dash more. Now we're going to muddle this up like as if you're making a cocktail. We're going to muddle, muddle, muddle. And we're going to make this until it's a nice, smooth, wonderful looking, almost like a cake dough. So we're going to go, 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 go. It's almost ready. Okay. Now, watch this. It's like cake batter. Now we're going to put it in the microwave. 1 minute, 10 seconds. That's for 4 cookies, third of cup milk. Boom. Now, while that's going, we're going to plate this. So, we're going to take our garlic horseradish sauce. We're gonna put on the bottom of the plate. See this? That's what chefs do. They put the sauce on the bottom. I guess right now we're chefing it, not serving it. Now I'm gonna take this pork tenderloin, put some nice medallions over top of the applesauce, like so. We're about 2 or 3 per plate. And again, I mean, this is like a very inexpensive meal you can provide to your family. Probably $15 for the whole thing. Very inexpensive. Terrific. Now, we're going to take some of our vegetables. Again, we got our starches, our proteins, our vegetables, everything's here. Colors are looking magnificent. There we go. Like that. Make sure you get enough carrots. Everything's good. Now, we got a nice, delicious meal here. Pork tenderloin over seasoned applesauce with roasted vegetables. And now, for the piece de resistance. This here is called Oreo Cookie Pie. Watch this. We're going to put the pie on the plate. Might need a little bit of a hand here. We're just going to put that on there. And watch this. Look, it's almost like it baked in the oven. Look at that. Steaming hot. That's just Oreo cookies and milk. This is serving it up. We're making delicious food with the most simplest techniques. Now, the finishing. Whipped cream. Yes, in a container. I'm not going to spend all that time whipping whipped cream. I'm not a chef. I'm just serving it up. Watch this. Boom. And then what you want to do, something I have learned from all the chefs I've worked with, I'm going to take one more cookie. And I'm going to pop the top off. This is texture, because you need soft and you need texture elements. I'm going to crumble this over top. I'm going to have this delicious contrast. Super flavorful Oreo cake, whipped cream, crispy Oreo cookie on top. And here we have it. The first meal made by Adam, the server. Delicious pork tenderloin, applesauce, roasted vegetables, and a super delicious 1-minute dessert. Make it for your family. It's super great. And remember, we're not chefing it up, we're serving it.